I'm going to challenge something you've believed your whole life, and you might hate me for it. You've been taught that good people struggle financially because money is the root of all evil, and it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter heaven. But here's what nobody told you, is because they understand money rules that good people were taught to ignore. What if your financial struggle isn't spiritual, it's strategic blindness? Ancient traditions understood something modern good people forgot. There's a difference between sacred giving and soul depletion. The Buddha taught about the middle way, avoiding both extreme self-indulgence and extreme self-mortification. Even in giving, balance is essential. Think about it. Giving when you're exhausted is like burning a candle from both ends. Eventually, it burns out completely. True compassion comes from abundance, like a mature oak tree sharing its acorns without harming the trunk. This isn't about being selfish. This is about understanding the wisdom behind sustainable giving. Here's what I've discovered studying thousands of financially struggling good people. Most carry what I call poverty virtue programming. This programming says, good people sacrifice everything. Wanting money makes you bad. Struggle proves your worthiness. Others' needs always come first. But here's the counterintuitive truth. This programming doesn't make you holy, it makes you broke. And broke people can't help anyone long term. Meet Clara, the town's beloved seamstress in 1920s Millbrook Valley. While other shop owners prosper, Clara barely keeps her little dress shop afloat, though everyone calls her an angel sent from heaven. Clara's good girl pattern? Men's clothes for free when families claim hardship, even when she notices the same poor families buying candy at the general store. Extends credit indefinitely to neighbors who promise to pay next harvest, some tabs going back 3 years. When the widow Murphy needed $50 for her son's medicine, Clara borrowed against her own shop to help. When Farmer Johnson's barn burned, Clara organized the town collection and added her last $30. Clara lived on bread and soup while giving away fabric scraps, extending endless credit, and borrowing money to help others because she believed this made her righteous. The brutal wake-up call. Then Clara's father had a stroke. The doctor needed $200 up front, more than Clara had ever seen. Her shop was failing, her savings empty from helping others. Clara went to every person she'd helped. Widow Murphy, "I'm so sorry, dear, money's still tight since my son's illness." Farmer Johnson, "Wish I could help, Clara, but the harvest wasn't good this year." The families with 3-year-old unpaid tabs, "We'll pay you back when things get better." The devastating reality. Clara had to watch her father suffer because she couldn't afford proper care. The woman who'd given her last dollar to help others couldn't help her own family when it mattered most. She realized, I spent years filling buckets that had holes in the bottom, while my own well went dry. Meanwhile, old Mr. Thompson, who ran his business with firm prices and clear terms, heard about Clara's situation and quietly paid the doctor's bill. He could afford to because he never gave away his foundation. Clara's breakthrough moment. I wasn't being Christian. I was being foolish. The Bible says to be wise as serpents and gentle as doves. I forgot the wisdom part. The pattern became clear. Clara was constantly pouring into empty vessels while her own remained dry. Her noble poverty hadn't made her holy. It had made her helpless when her family needed her most. Here's what successful people understand that chronic givers don't. Sustainable generosity requires sustainable resources. Look at the most respected figures in history. They maintained their ability to give by maintaining their ability to earn. They understood that depleting yourself doesn't serve anyone. Consider this wisdom. A bankrupt person can't be generous. An exhausted person can't truly care for others. Someone who can't help themselves certainly can't help others long term. Clara's story reveals the harsh truth. When you give beyond your means, you're not just hurting yourself, you're limiting your future ability to help when it really matters. The counterintuitive reality: the people who could afford to help Clara were those who would learn to say no to preserve their ability to say yes when it counted. Your financial struggle isn't proving your goodness. It's limiting your impact when your goodness is needed most. Here's how Clara transformed her approach using what I call wise stewardship principles. Step 1, the bucket audit. Clara honestly assessed every relationship. Who fills my bucket back? The painful truth was most people only took. She wasn't helping them grow, she was enabling them to stay dependent. Step 2, the foundation principle. She learned that you can't build on quicksand. Before helping others, she had to secure her own foundation. This wasn't selfish, it was strategic. Step 3, the reciprocity standard. Clara started expecting fair exchange. She realized that people who truly needed help would find ways to reciprocate, even if just with gratitude and respect for her boundaries. Step 4, the emergency reserve. She built a fund that she would never touch for others' wants, only for true family emergencies. This fund eventually saved her father's life. Step 5, the discernment practice. Clara learned to distinguish between helping and enabling. True help creates independence, not dependence. The result? Within 2 years, thriving business, respected boundaries, and when the next crisis hit, she had resources to actually help. Most importantly, she attracted relationships with people who valued her enough to reciprocate. Here's what Clara learned. Give generously, but also receive gracefully. You deserve to be treated as well as you treat others. Your worth isn't proven by your willingness to be empty. It's honored by your wisdom to stay full. Your soul assignment, the foundation check. This week, before every act of giving, ask yourself, am I giving from my foundation or my reserves? Will this help them grow or keep them dependent? If I needed help tomorrow, would this person be there for me? If you're giving away your foundation while others build theirs, it's time to reassess. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't help others if you can't help yourself. The most generous people in history were those who built strong foundations first. Your assignment? Identify one area where you're giving away your foundation instead of your surplus. This week, protect that foundation so you can give sustainably. Comment below, what foundation have you been giving away that you need to protect? Share this with someone who's been exhausting themselves helping people who wouldn't return the favor. Sometimes the most loving thing is learning to be wise with your generosity. Your goodness is needed in this world, but only if you're sustainable enough to keep expressing it. The world needs financially stable, good people who can help when it really matters. Be one of them.